So I'm going to be talking about a national commons problem, which then flips into a global commons problem. And I'm going to be talking about the opportunity to harness natural resources, the natural resources underneath the ground, for prosperity in the poorest countries. Over the next decade, this is going to be Africa's big opportunity. There's a whole chain of decisions which have to be taken in order to harness natural assets for prosperity, and historically, it hasn't happened. That chain is broken. Our big insight is to see the whole decision chain, as a joined up thing, rather than just siloed. So let's start at the beginning of the chain, finding the natural resources under the ground. Here's the one number you'll remember from this IdeasLab. We take the average square kilometer of the OECD and the average square kilometer of Africa. Underneath the OECD square kilometer, there's $123,000 worth of subsoil assets. And now let's take the square kilometer of Africa. What's the same figure for Africa? Everybody imagines it's even more. It's actually much less. It's only about $20,000. It's about a fifth. That discovery process has gone wrong. Suppose you fix the discovery process, and that's a matter of property rights. You then have to harness the revenues for the government. And that's a matter of taxation. The money should flow into the national treasury, but typically in Africa it doesn't. Let's take the example of exports of gold from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Supposedly around $1 billion a year, revenue into we don't know exactly. We do know revenue into the treasury of the DRC, $37,000. So something is going very badly wrong. We can generally spot what it is. It's a mixture of the problems of asymmetric information between the companies and the government, and the agency problem within the government, which is a polite word for corruption. There are institutional devices for tackling both those problems. For example, auctions get around the problem of asymmetric information. The agency problem can also be addressed by auctions because it cleans up the process of awarding contracts. But also a trick of taxation is to tax the things that are highly observable, that can't be gained. Typically, profits can be gained much more easily than the actual physical quantity of the resource that's being extracted. So we've discovered the assets, we've taxed them, this is smuggling, and now we come to how they're spent. This is how they were spent in Nigeria. This is the Central Bank of Nigeria. And so big public expenditure is kind of the default option, but it doesn't necessarily produce very much. And so the alternative to something like that is to have high savings rates. Now, high savings rates are politically unpopular in resource-rich countries. This is the logo of the People's Populist Party in Norway. So it's not just a problem in Africa, it's a problem for all resource-rich countries. This populist party wants to spend the money now. Clearly, as you're depleting an asset, you should be building up another asset. A few countries do that. Usually it's not happened. Once you've saved the asset, what should you do with it? The low-income countries, Africa, shouldn't copy Norway. Norway gives it to those wise New York bankers to invest internationally. But what Africa should be doing is investing within Africa. Now, the problem with that, historically, there are good things you could invest on, like schools, but historically, the process of investment has failed. And so the final link in the chain is to invest in the capacity to invest well, investing in investing. Now, let me conclude by saying, why has that chain gone wrong? And it's gone wrong repeatedly, yet it is Africa's big opportunity the next decade. It's vital that that chain should hold. What has to happen? This is not a matter of the international financial institutions telling resource-rich countries what to do. There's no power, they won't listen. And so to our mind, what's necessary to get this sort of thing is to build within each resource-rich society a critical mass of informed opinion. Now, how do you do that? That's where we flip from the national public good of natural resources to the global public good of knowledge. And so a team of us have built what is called the Natural Resource Charter, which is both a website and a physical product. You can pick this up on your way out. And the Natural Resource Charter lays out the full decision chain in clear language at different levels so that ordinary people in the resource-rich societies can understand what went wrong and what are the critical decisions needed to harness this enormous opportunity. Thank you.